and Banner Podcast. What up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the Legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. It's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
To everybody is,
does Delaware have an actual culture?
This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world, politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
Royalty. Ain't number made men and women. Treat all of my niggas like royalty. My brothers. And all of my bitches, they loyal to me.
Why you ain't play Preach?
Want to say rest in peace to young Dolph.
Yes, sir.
She's crazy out in these streets. We got to do better, all of us.
Definitely.
All right. What up? Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic is the rocket and the brew. Well, happy to fuel. And I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, the Legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas?
What is going on, everyone?
Hi, everyone.
How you guys doing today?
Great. This is episode 143. Was you asking us or were you asking the audience?
Everybody. It was open. It's always open.
I'm well.
Good. Thank you for answering, guys. I thought it was always established. I'm asking the crowd, the fans, and y'all.
Gotcha.
Always y'all.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay, great. Beautiful.
Doing good.
He like Willie Nelson on the road again.
Yeah, on location.
No?
Well, that was trash.
I thought that was pretty solid.
What was it? I didn't hear.
I said Willie Nelson on the road again.
No, yeah, I agree with you, Yoda. You had better. You've had better.
That was solid to me.
No, that was not solid. That was fucking. No.
Out of all the good shit you said, you gonna clap for that one?
Clap for that crap?
What a waste of a clap.
You only got but so many claps over there. Wasted one.
Like I said, this is episode 143. I think it might be down a man a day. Shout out to Dev.
What's up, Dev?
I think he's doing his daddy duties out there, traveling for team sports. What? Traveling for sports. That's not what the team.
Sure, he's not the one in gymnastics. Say no.
He is traveling for the team sport, though. Yeah.
Well, I guess they're technically a team because it's a unit, but it's like an individual.
But do they win? Like, is it points and cumulative?
I don't know.
Or is it just individual?
I think it's just individual at this point.
Just doing their thing. Okay.
I think it's individual. I'm not sure. Don't
get
me alone.
Never been to the competitions.
Right.
Devin, let Devin get back to us.
Yeah, Devin's gonna come. He's gonna listen. He's gonna come on and he's gonna say, how it works.
First thing, yeah,
is that we're going.
That would be the first thing for next week's episode.
Gotcha. But we do have a special guest with us this afternoon. Because, like I said, this is episode 143, and we have all the way from Chattanooga, Tennessee. We have
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
Is that how you say it?
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
Is it Chattanooga?
Chagga.
We'll figure it out.
She from Tennessee. She living in Tennessee.
Oh, she already said no, so I know I said it wrong. She shook her head. I can see it.
Chattanooga. Good Lord.
Usher's hometown. That's all I know.
Usher Lane. Oh, that's where they use Usher bucks.
Yeah, from
no, it's the only place in America.
We're gonna bring in
we gotta ask her that.
So I want to welcome her to the podcast.
Hi.
Welcome.
So how do you say it?
Chattanooga.
That's not what I said. What I said?
You said like I don't know what you said. It wasn't Chattanooga though.
It was like a chugga.
Chattanooga. Chat. You just call it Chat. It's fine.
Right. Chat, Tennessee. I don't know. That's right.
Yeah. Chattown.
Is that a real thing? Chattown?
Yep. Chattown.
Mm-hmm. All right, there.
Oh, shit.
Chattown, Tennessee.
I thought I was making that shit up, but I like
it.
All right.
That's why it sounds so good, because it's been out.
Right.
I just call it Usher's hometown.
I know. Someone said that to me last week, and I was in New York. They were like, "Oh, Chattanooga, that's where Usher's from," and I was like, "It's more things in Chattanooga than Usher, but yeah."
Oh man.
But I think when people think, if they're not from that area, they probably think Usher first.
Yeah.
No, but that was something else I thought about before I knew Usher. Was it a TV show? There was something about Chattanooga.
Chat. What are you saying?
Whatever.
Chattown, man.
Chattown.
Well, we want to welcome you again to the podcast.
Thank you.
It's okay, Rob.
Yeah,
we got.
I would just say Tennessee.
Right. Can say
That's fun too.
Tennessee.
Actually, I'm not gonna say it again at all again.
Everybody know where she's from.
Right. At this point, you know it ain't Chattanooga.
You said it again.
Chattown.
You just said I'm not.
I know. Before we get into it, we always like to know what everybody is drinking on. So, what are we drinking today? Oh, I'm curious to know what LaTroya is drinking on today.
Okay, we're drinking water today, just because I had a really long night and I couldn't go to the store to buy any beer because I don't have my car.
Yeah, that's
all right.
I probably need water anyways. Like I said, it's necessary.
That was divine intervention.
Yeah, it sure was.
All right, yo, what you drinking on?
I got this right here, Stone Age Love. Okay. Can you see it?
You know, I almost grabbed that too.
Can you see it?
I can see a little bit of it.
A little bit. It's kind of shiny.
Yeah, it's hard to see in the camera, but it's from the Rare Barrel, and they're out of Berkeley, California, right?
Okay.
So this is a golden sour, all right, but it's aged in oak barrels with tart cherries. Now,
you said with cherries? With cherries?
Not just cherries, tart cherries.
Tart.
Yeah. So this is what it looks like.
Is that a certain cherry? Is it
It's pretty.
Is there a certain tart cherry?
I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm glad they said it, because this shit is tart as I don't know what.
Well, they was letting you know.
It was a warning, yes. This ain't just, you just ain't gonna taste cherries, is what they was telling me. You're gonna taste some tart cherries.
Tart cherries.
But this would look like in a glass. You know, I only took one sip. I'll take a sip now.
Oh, that's what you made that?
Oh.
Wow.
That is something different.
Wow.
So
that sounds so good, though.
You would think the barrel age would take away some of the tartness, no?
Oh, no. That is hard. Even when
maybe they put the tart on the back. Nah, they wouldn't put the tart on the back end, would they?
When you smell it, you know it's tart.
Oh, you know it's tart.
Yeah. I smelled it first and I was like, I don't even know if I want to sip this.
Isn't that why they call them golden sours? Because they are extra tart? Because isn't like that golden monkey extra sour?
Oh yeah, they had the golden monkey sour, but now golden is just, I think, just referring to like the color. But
yeah, but that's
okay.
You don't look like you like it though.
Not at all. That look like a keep it in the cooler.
I can't. You know why I wouldn't keep it in the cooler, because they did tell me
it was tart.
Yeah, at least they told me.
Yeah, so if you don't enjoy it, you're gonna
right. Just because they got a warning label on it.
Because the thing is the reason why I say that is because I don't enjoy it because it's so tart.
Right.
But it ain't bad. It doesn't taste horrible. It's just too tart for me, for my liking.
Yeah. So the tart fans.
Yeah. So I would just have one of these. But I was reading the can, and it said that it was a blend of golden sour beer aged in oak barrels with tart cherries. But then it said fermented with Brettanomyces
Right, yeah.
anomla. I don't even know.
Actinomyces.
Yeah, so it's the
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's that, like a fungus, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a different kind of yeast you can use, and mostly people use those in like barrel aged beers, just because Brett takes a long time to break down sugars in beers, and they can usually lend. There's like 3 different strains of Brett you can use. Some of them kind of have like kind of like a funky like horse blankety leathery kind of taste, and there's some that can like lend like some kind of like fruitiness and like
That is a
pineapple
horrible
flavor.
way
Yeah,
to
like I don't want
describe
that.
something.
I don't.
No, but it works.
But they always describe
It works.
A horse blanket. A
scholar
horse
here.
blanket taste. It tastes
Yeah.
like horse blanket.
I mean, truly, that's the best way to put it. Like farmhouse, like that smell. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Very specific. Look, you'll look for it
That
next
is-
time you have a Brett beer. You'll look for it and you'll be like,
yeah.
okay.
There's that horse
Horses.
blanket.
But it does.
The question,
That
the question
leather.
goes into who's eating a horse blanket?
That's what I'm saying. And why when you taste it, you like, that's it. That's the taste. Like
I don't know, man. I literally
that
like whenever
influence.
I used to hear that all the time, and I was same thing. I was like, who decided that horse blanket was the flavor for that? Like, how did we get there
Yeah, why
to
are
that
we making
flavor?
this flavor? Why?
Yeah.
Well, it probably was something that they looked at and said, you know what? I think that's what the horse blanket would taste like.
Mhm.
Nah,
maybe.
Yeah.
somebody was yawing on a horse blanket.
Yeah, no, it's
this is
weird.
what
I'm sorry.
Or maybe because you know how you sometimes when you ride past a farm or if you're in a farm, that smell will get in your mouth and
Right.
you kind of taste and you be like, oh, I taste that shit.
I taste that
Mm.
horse
Maybe
blanket.
that's
right
what
there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Nobody really knows what horse blankets taste like, but I think somebody does. I think there's
Somebody
that-
does.
Yeah,
Somebody
somebody definitely knows
Somebody
what horse
does.
blanket tastes like.
But it also says that it has some tart lemonade in it too. So
lemonade?
I got a whole lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on in there.
So-
That thing is
so-
all over the place.
that's probably why it's so damn tart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was looking for all of it. They ain't
I
put
mean-
no Pop Tarts in there, did they? Finish it off. Little pastries.
But I
little
do like
pastry
the-
stout.
I do like the can. It's a little heart and the check mark thing on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
But the can is nice.
Yeah,
All right.
but the
Can.
light kind of throws it off a little bit. But
Yeah, but it's real nice.
All right, Lou, what you drinking on?
Let me pour a little bit for us. I got this. This is the 2021 Reserve Tequila Barrel Aged Watermelon Goza.
Oh.
Tequila AIDS.
Oh,
That's what that looked
Okay.
like there.
Tequila.
This is from Terrapin
Okay.
Terrapin Beer Company out of Athens, Georgia.
Mm.
This is, like I said, a watermelon goes. I'm trying to find the ABV. Oh, there we go. It's 6.
I didn't say mine.
Go ahead, Yoda. What is
I
it?
didn't say my ABV. It's
Yeah, go ahead,
7.2.
go ahead.
It's 7.2.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's all that tartness is 7 point.
Yes.
I want to taste that.
Here, you can. I'm
No.
gonna bring you mine right now.
I think I got one for you. I think I have one for you.
Put
actually.
a cap it. I'll have to. I want to taste that. But it says here, by meticulously aging our watermelon goza and imported tequila barrels, we have created a delicate balance between watermelon flavor, tartness, and delicate tequila barrel notes. This extension of our ever popular goza might even get you thinking about putting a little extra salt on the rim of your pint glass.
Oh.
It don't need it. This the salt is like, I could taste the salt in here. I could taste the watermelon, the tequila, and it's amazing because supposedly watermelon and salt goes together. I never really liked it,
Yeah, people like
Me
salt.
either.
Yeah,
I never was a
yes.
fan of that.
but it's a thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like it is a thing amongst the watermelon eating population that they like salt on their watermelon,
Right.
and people like salt with their tequila. So it's a perfect match. This is delicious. I don't know if you can see the color. It's kind of like orangey, pinkish, watermelon color. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's delicious, man. This is, if you like gozas, and that it always got. Does gozas always have to have the salt in it?
Yeah, that's part of
That's
the
part of
goes
it.
in.
So
That's
yeah,
the
this
part
is
that goes in,
tequilas and gozas go together. Like, cheers. And I love tequila, so yeah, I love this beer. This is Pass Me Another all the way.
Nice. Okay.
All right, sounds good. I got to try.
Hey, Rob,
Yes, sir.
what you drinking on this week, sir?
I'm actually drinking on. I think someone had it already on here, the podcast, but it is the the dry hop Imperial Pilsner from the Barrel and Flow with Trogs, Harris Family, and Mac.
Okay.
The 10.2% Imperial Pilsner. I don't remember what it was
Maxine
called.
contracts to always be over 10%.
I think so. I think he said that.
Yo,
he said he want the sip drink. He want the sip.
I know,
beer,
but
so.
I mean, even when he collaborate, they'd be high.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's his
thing.
True to his.
That's what I'm saying. He be
brand.
signing like, this is what we doing, guys. I'm a collab, but I gotta.
You know what I want?
Give you that hot.
I want a 10.4% Bill Pilsner. I want
not ever.
Hot,
right.
I've never said that.
but
does it feel like 10? Does it feel like 10? Does it feel like 10.2?
No, but
So
I do want to pay attention to the ring around my glass because you know that thing glass clean, baby. Beer clean glass, baby.
I just rolled my eyes.
I know. That's why I laughed.
I don't have no words for this.
That's why I laughed harder because I saw you. But that is the color. It's a nice golden color right there. There it is.
The beer looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Right. Fuck that glass.
Exactly.
Exactly. Really? Really?
Well,
really?
The cleanliness. Y'all are so much brothers. That is so cute. That was cute. Y'all ain't even playing that, did y'all?
Nope.
Oh, that's adorable.
All right. Well, sounds like everybody got something good to drink on. But so you want to get into this this episode, and we want to know all about who LaTroya, or LT for short, is, how she got into craft beer.
Butts if you're nasty.
I
don't know.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
It's over. I'll go keep going. Don't even worry about it.
Her craft beer journey. How did she got the Five Wits? And more about the Michael J. Jackson scholarship that was, I think, started by Mr. Garrett Oliver himself. So without further ado, you want to thank LaTroya Butts for coming on again. The floor is yours.
What was that?
I think real quick, how I got into beer is not, I don't know, it's not a huge story. I hung out in one of the breweries here maybe 6 or 7 years ago with one of my friends, and he under the premise, he was just like, we should have more women brewing beer. And I was like, at the time, I was like, that's cool. I'm not gonna do it, but that's cool. But he was like, you should just come hang out. And so I did. I hung out with him for, I guess, maybe like a month or so before he actually left that brewery. And I don't know, like in that moment, in that month, like I just kind of like fell in love with the process, and like, the fact that you could get like all these different beers out of like basically 4 ingredients, aside from like adjuncts and things like that. So I was like just really fascinated by it. And then a month later, I moved out to Colorado, out into the mountains. I worked at a brewery out there trying to get into production, but I was mostly tap room. And I did a little bit of production there, but my first job in production, I moved back to Wilmington, North Carolina, at a brewery called Wrightsville Beach Brewing Company. And that was like my first full-time production job. And from there, I hated Wilmington, and I don't know why. I didn't give it a fair chance, I don't think, just because I miss being back home, because I'd been gone for 3 years already at that point. And I found out they were opening Five Wits here in Chattanooga. So I applied, and I got the job. So I ended up there, and I thought that when I got to Five Wits, we would, or I would just be doing like cellar work and stuff like that, because that's all I'd ever like really done. But my boss was pretty much like, you can do all that stuff. We have to teach you how to brew. And I was like, okay. Nice. And that kind of like took me, that caught me off guard, because I just like to be prepared for that kind of stuff. Like I want to like read up and do some studying and things like that, but I really didn't have time. So he like put me on the brew deck, and, he shadowed me, and I shadowed him for maybe like a month or two. And then, so I learned how to brew on a 20-barrel brew system. So that was a big leap. But that's how I got to Five Wits here, and I've been there for 2 years. And so I'm a brewer there. Pretty much run production. I guess it's only me and my boss there, so we have a small team.
Oh, nice. That's
That's awesome.
Does your boss know that originally when somebody said that we need more women brewing beer, you were like, who cares?
You know that's he does. I know. Whenever I started drinking beer, like I don't know, I knew I wanted to work in beer, but that part of it like never didn't interest me at all. Like I thought I'd do like sales or run a tap room because my background before this was hospitality. So I've been a bartender for like forever, like a restaurant manager and stuff like that. So I thought that would be the way that I got into beer, but I don't know.
So was it literally you being at the brewery that you're at now and him saying you're going to be a brewer that got you into being a brewer?
No, I think I shifted my kind of like focus a few years ago before I moved to Colorado to wanting to be in production. But I guess long term, I always knew I wanted to be a brewer, but I thought it would take longer than, being at my job and my boss being like, cool, we're gonna teach you how to brew. So I thought that it would take, another year or two before I even got into it. But I welcome the challenge and I like love it. Like I'm obsessed. Nice. It's my favorite.
That's awesome.
So I know you had mentioned that you were already at a brewery and drinking. So how did you actually get into craft beer? Like what was there just you always like beer or did something that
I think that I worked at a bar when I lived in Savannah, Georgia. And we had like a happy hour.
Yes, we do need to counter that.
Come on, man. Are you from Tennessee?
Yes. Yes, I'm from Tennessee. I'm from Dixon, Tennessee. It's like a super small town. It's like definitely drive by. Like no one knows where it is. So I just.
How far from Chattanooga?
It's 3 hours from here.
Jeez. Okay. Is there a big city close to where you're from?
Nashville actually. Okay. It's like maybe an hour out west of Nashville.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry. So we had this happy hour and people would ask about our beers and we had a really awesome like craft beer lineup, but I could never describe the beers to people. And I didn't really I drink Bud Light Platinum back then.
It's all right.
It's okay, I've been delivered. But so I would just like sit down and like have a beer after work. Or we also got a World of Beer in Savannah, like really shortly after I started working there. So that was kind of like when I walked into the World of Beer and they have like 500 cans or in like all these taps, and I was just like, I was literally like, holy shit, like that's wild. Right. And so that kind of like just pushed me on kind of a trajectory of just like being just immersed in, craft beer, going to festivals and I don't know, anywhere there was craft beer, like I was always like wanting to be a part. So that's how I started drinking beer. And then from there.
All right. So what is your favorite style of beer?
My favorite style of beer would be, I have two. Okay. So it's like lagers and like saisons, like any kind of like farmhouse style.
Okay. So she ate the horse leather.
I do. I like it.
That's why she was so able to.
Right. That's why she knew all the junk. Like horse.
Yeah.
Horse, I can educate you guys on horse blanket. I know exactly what it tastes like.
Horse blanket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's my thing.
Okay. Is that your favorite style of beer to brew?
I would say lagers are my favorite style to brew, just because I think that they're pretty technical and you can't hide mistakes behind lagers. You know what I mean? Like they're just like a showcase of pretty much what the brewer did to the beer. And I just learned how to do decoction mashing too a little while ago. So I always like to go through the extra like effort. You don't have to, but I mean, it sucks. Decoction mashing sucks, but I like the outcome of it. So it's like a labor of love situation. I don't know.
Could you explain what that is real quick?
Oh, decoction. So it's like you take a little bit of their mash. We usually do like 30% of what we have in the mash tun and pump it over to the kettle. And so you can boil it down. You can like send it back over, as soon as it starts to boil, or you can boil it for an extra long time. So I don't know, sometimes you can do like 30 minutes is what we did when we did our Czech dark lager. But the point is you boil it, and then you're going to send it back over to the mash tun to raise the temperature. So it's almost like step mashing, but it's one of those things too. You kind of have to trust the numbers on what's happening. And but yeah, I mean, you just 30% of your mash, grains and all, take it over, boil it, and that also lends to like color and those like melanoidin kind of flavors. Like those like caramel kind of notes. You can get all that from decoction mashing. Like, I mean, you really don't even have to use specialty grains. I mean, you can, and they're always there. Like, there's even melanoid malt. So you don't have to do a decoction. But I like doing it. I like traditional ways.
Do you think it makes a better lager?
I do.
Yeah, for sure.
I do. People will argue. I mean, you can make really great lagers without doing a decoction mash, but I like traditional methods. So I like to do it that way.
At the brewery you at, is that their main style is lagers?
Yeah. We do a lot of lagers.
Okay, I need to go to Five Wits.
Y'all shipping? Y'all
We're not shipping, but I can send you guys some.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I forgot. Allegedly, I could ship you some.
Appreciate it.
Ship candles. She has candles.
Candles.
Yeah. Everybody has a candle company these days.
Right.
That's fair.
They're awesome.
Yeah, lagers are good time, and I think Mr. Oliver actually said if you go to a brewery, try their lagers, because that tells you if they can really brew or not. Because like you said, you can't hide anything in them. Like in the stout, like if it turns a little too burnt, just add some coconut.
Yeah, no, I used to be like, when you go to a brewery, I used to be like, try their IPA, because I was like, how do you mess up an IPA? But you can, and people do a lot. And that's what they do, is they put a bunch of fruit on top of it, or a ton of hops and things. Like, you can hide a lot in an IPA, I've learned.
Right.
So yeah, definitely pick a lager style for sure.
Nice. Now, do y'all do the IPAs as well, or do you?
Yeah, we actually, one of our flagships is a Sunblaze IPA, and I think I brew that probably more than anything else. But I call it the beer that keeps our lights on. Honestly, like, we sell so much.
Right. Well, I mean, that's true about most places.
Yeah, if you make a good IPA, it's gonna sell for sure.
Yeah.
So what's in that IPA? Like, is there something special about it?
It's kind of just we kind of try to bridge the gap between like West Coasty and a little bit of like a New England style. It's not very hazy. It's not hazy at all, actually, but it has those same like piney, like danky resinous flavors, but also like really juicy and like, tropical and citrus as well. So, and it's a little sweeter than I guess a West Coast. So I guess that kind of lends more towards that New England style, but I think it's like a nice in between. So I think people like that
style IPA.
Yes. Southeast
Hey,
IPA.
I like that, Rob. Good job.
Is that a new IPA style?
Yeah.
SCIPAs. SCIPAs. You're welcome, LT. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Rob, but if you hear them say that, you're going to be like, wait a minute.
That's why we say you welcome right now, Yoda. We got to let them know where the timestamp was.
Yes.
Rob came through with that. SCIPA.
I'm sure I'm not the first person, but I think somebody said they did like especially when it's a mashup and it's not really because I think somebody here said they don't call it a New England IPA, they call it a Northeast IPA. I think Wilmington Brewers does.
Okay.
Because it's more of their style or something like that.
Man, I don't mind a little sweeter IPA though.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely helps.
Yoda.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Please tone it down. Tone it down. But still make it smell good, They smell good.
It smells awesome. We like hop the shit out of it. Like, we do like we do an early edition, just like we do 75-minute boils. I think we get more I guess hop efficiency out of it. More, we can use more of the alpha acids or whatever. But so we do this big 75-minute edition with Chinook, and then we do a 15, a 5, a flame out, and a whirlpool. So we do a ton of like late edition hops. So you get a ton of aromatics, and we do a warm dry hop also with it. So it's definitely flavorful, and it smells really good.
I like the smells.
Mm-hmm.
I like the smells.
Lou doesn't drink IPAs.
Oh, I drink them. I taste them all.
Taste
You taste
I
them.
all,
drink
but
them. You taste
it's very rare that I find one that I'm beholden to. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now here's this question. Since you said you were obsessed with brewing, like what part of the process are you obsessed with? You actually the journey of the beer or the finished product and seeing people's reaction? Like, oh, this is great. Like, what part do you enjoy the most?
I think I like the process. I do enjoy like going out to the tap room and people are like, "Oh my god, this is so good." I'm like, "Thanks." But no, that's awesome. But I love the process, like the building the recipes and stuff like that. Like I said, like, this is my first brewing job, so I'm really new. So taking like all these different like hops and these grains and like what subtleties you get out of those, and I think I like building it, and then I also like following it through its journey, because you can like taste all those flavors and nuances and like as it conditions, like what flavors come out, what kind of fades away. I don't know, and also just like the process. Brewing's awesome. I wish I had gotten into home brewing a lot more before I started doing it. And I think I've had like 2 successful homebrew batches forever ago. It wasn't easy for me to do a home brewing, but I just like the process.
Okay.
Mostly like recipe building.
Yeah. Has anybody had any bad reactions when they found out black girl brewed their beer?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. And I've thought about that, just because I am in like, the South.
Right.
And but also I don't know that a lot of people know that I'm the brewer.
Yeah.
And I don't.
And they probably don't assume it either. They probably like,
They definitely don't assume it. I think I talked to my boss about that too. I mean, I think I call Elliot like black adjacent sometimes. He's definitely white, but he's
definitely white.
Yeah, he's definitely white. But he, I don't know. For me, it's easier for me to talk to this stuff with him, talk about this stuff with him, because I don't know that he understands, but he like empathizes. He like, we went to hop selection in Yakima, and I made a joke. It wasn't really a joke. I thought it was funny. I don't know if you. I counted every black person that I saw while we were in Yakima at every beer event.
I do that too.
And I did it, and we got to 9. Okay. And me and Chris from Green Bench, we were 2 of them. So.
You counted yourself?
I counted myself, yeah. But things like that, like I think people just assume that, I mean, he is the brewer. I mean, he is my boss. He's the head brewer. You know what I mean? Right. But he looks like every other brewer that you see. He has like his long hair, his backwards hat, and his big beard.
Beard. Yeah, I was about to say beard.
Beard, yeah. So I was telling him, like, when I get into these spaces of a bunch of brewers, like I tend to kind of shrink myself or kind of like fall back a little bit, just because like, hey, I don't want to be that person, like the black woman brewer in the room. You know what I mean? Sometimes it feels overwhelming, but also even when I'm out, like in our tap room, like I won't say anything. The guys that are bartending, they make it a point always to be like, well, she's the brewer, and the people just kind of look and like, I don't know. I don't know if people feel a way about it or feel any differently, but I know people. That's what I'm saying. People don't know that I'm the brewer, and they also, like you said, don't assume that I'm the brewer. So I just kind of just like lay low a little bit, and I think. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, like people know that I brew there, but I don't know that many people do. But I guess I should be better about making that known, just so people are aware.
That's what I was going to say. I'll post a picture on the window, like
and if you look at
it's me.
And if you look at Five Wits IG page, like she's on there, and they say she's the brewer, so it's not like. I mean, if they went looking, they will find that she is.
If they look for it,
but it's just the unassuming of it all, like But it's only because for lack of a better word, you guys, black women in brewing as brewers are so far and few in between, and we just want to make that bigger and better. Like how can you as a brewer at your brewery get more black women into brewing? Like what are you doing anything or Can you figure it? You know,
I don't know that I'm doing anything, like outwardly, but I think the conversations are always there,
Just showing up. She is
just
doing
being
something.
there, and I
absolutely,
think
absolutely.
Right.
For
I
sure.
should, like I said, like I should be better about being out there and trying to, make myself known, but also like in doing that, I feel like, I don't know, I'm pretty shy. So I don't really like to be like out there like that. You know what I mean?
Well, we can't come to your joint because we'll be in there like, yeah.
Hey, yo, female brewer, she back there. That's her right over there. She made this beer, son.
You should. I don't know. That maybe that's how we do it. But I mean, otherwise, like, I mean, the people that work there, they let people know that I'm the one that's back there, and I don't really necessarily stick around for the reaction or what they have to say, but they make it a point to let people know.
That's not for you. You're here for the compliments and to make the good beer. You're not here for all the negativity. Like, F them. You're the brewer.
For sure.
That's all
and
that matters. Yep.
Maybe there wouldn't be anything negative. I don't know. I just don't. That's why I'm saying I shrink myself a ton, and I don't even like sitting out there a lot of the time. I just don't even want to set myself up for a situation where I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's sad because I
gotta act up.
Honestly, that's sad because I honestly think like if you're making good beer, so I honestly think if somebody got to speak to you, and I would hope that it would be a positive experience for you, all the time, because you're making good beer. Even if you made a beer that somebody didn't like, they could still talk to you in a respectful way that was criticizing the beer that could help you be a better brewer in the future and not be a brewer. You know what I mean? Like,
I welcome feedback too.
A weird balance. That sucks.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, the work continues.
Right.
We got to keep having the conversations and things like that. So
So Mark, I don't even know if you know this question in terms of like how many female brewers are there in Tennessee?
That I don't know. I know there is Nashville. I have Jackalope. There's a women-owned and operated brewery.
Okay.
Them. I think I said one. I mean, I think I know of 6.
Okay.
6 brewers. Yeah.
6 in Tennessee. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, here in town we have me. There's 4 in Chattanooga.
Okay.
Women.
So majority are in Chattanooga.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know about everywhere else, but yeah.
Right. That you know of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you know of any other Black female brewers besides Hannah and you?
Yes. I met one lady up in Brooklyn, actually. Her name is Robin Williams. She's actually British. She brews at Wild East Brewing up in Brooklyn.
Okay.
She's great, and they make really awesome lagers at that brewery too. And then, I don't know. I've just recently found out her name is Celeste Beatty. You guys ever heard of her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Harlem Brewing.
Yeah, I apologize for not mentioning her first.
No, I mean that's one of the things. Like until like all these conversations started happening, like a year or two ago, like I never even knew she existed. And then that's awesome. That's so dope. But I'm not. Is she a brewer there, or is she just like owner?
She's a head brewer.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. That's sick. Yeah. Awesome. That's really cool.
We gotta have a Black woman brewer podcast.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Have them all. Yeah.
That'd be dope. That's on the agenda.
Okay.
LT, you're here. Come on. Yeah.
Except
you're on deck.
Yeah. I think we know them all.
I think we've named most of them. No, there is another. I don't know if you guys
maybe more.
Yeah. Do y'all follow Lady Lager?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like we can literally go down and like name us all on like maybe 2 hands. I feel like.
That would be a great panel.
Crazy.
That's a great panel.
Yeah, 2 hands is probably being generous too.
I mean, that is the cool thing about being in the beer community, because you do get to meet these people, and even shout out to what was Fresh Fest and now Barrel and Flow, where they bring them all together and get to meet them all in person and sample their beers.
Well, you're on the agenda then. You come.
Yeah, I have to go next year.
Absolutely, you gotta be there next year.
For sure.
It's definitely worth it for any Black person in craft beer.
Man, like,
I think
and
so.
I
Yeah,
think
it
like
should be
anybody,
a
even if you're not
must-see.
in the craft beer, it's just a good festival. Period. So
Just for black
Yeah.
people in general, huh?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, because there's arts, there's music, there's entertainment, there's food, there's
Yep,
Right.
yep.
Mhm.
And then
just a
those
good
people
time.
that, if you're not in the craft beer,
Mhm.
that's a backdrop, and you can still drink some beer, and maybe we can get some converts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
I guess my other question now, well, just I guess that's kind of a segue. It's not really a great segue, but you also were one of the first recipients of the Michael J. Jackson Foundation.
Yeah.
So how did that come about, and then what exactly did it
Um,
entail?
I don't know. I found out about it on Instagram, and I wasn't even gonna apply at first because I was like, "Damn, this scholarship! Like, literally everyone's about to like apply for this scholarship," and I was like, "No, I'm not even gonna do it." And then my boss, Elliot, was actually like, "I mean, what do you have to lose? Just like apply for it." And so I was like, "Okay," so I did, and I ended up getting an interview with all these people. That's the first time I saw Garrett Oliver like on screen. Like, I was like, whew. So I was really nervous. So as soon as the Zoom popped up, it was like boom, it was Garrett Oliver. But yeah, we had like a little interview then, and I also thought like I bombed that interview. I felt like so, but it worked out. I got it.
No bomb.
So yeah, so I took my scholarship and I went to the concise course in brewing through the Siebel Institute.
Okay.
So I took that online course, and it was a great course. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. From that, I think his main goal with that scholarship is first, it was him to find people, in actually there's another female brewer, another black brewer from Colorado. Okay, that which he was one of the first recipients also. But anyway, he wanted to take people that were already here and kind of like uplift us and kind of give us a voice. And I think that definitely worked. You know what I mean? I think it's been nothing but, great opportunities that have happened after, that scholarship and, the people that I've met on Instagram and like the podcast. So I think in a way, like it's kind of there to make us kind of representatives of people of color in the brewing industry. And I think that's definitely what, like I was saying earlier, I'm like, I don't really like being in spotlight or anything like that. Like it's weird for me, but in this instance for this scholarship and for the purposes behind it, and anyone trying to get here, I'm definitely down to, speak on it whenever I can, like on podcasts and things like that, and even like on the panel that I was just on, like yeah, I don't know, it's been a really great experience so far with the scholarship.
Because the panel was in Brooklyn. Was it in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
So how'd that go as well?
Oof, that was scary for me. I don't like public speaking at all, and it was like 50 people just like looking at me. It was weird.
It kind of sounds like you better get used to it though. Like
yeah, I know.
I know. Today. I
know.
Know that you're not good at public speaking by what you're doing today. You're doing great.
Well, thank you. I just sometimes you got to get there, and it's like I can't escape from this, so I have to like.
Right.
I got to do it.
But in your mind, you're like, run!
Yeah. Shut it down. Everybody come. But the panel was great. I think also there too, a lot of great conversations, a lot of great discussions, and I was able to get different viewpoints and different perspectives as far as other women of color that are not just like Black women in the industry. One of the ladies on the panel, she's Puerto Rican. The other was like half Asian. So they also like have their own set of struggles that they've dealt with being here. Yeah. So it was nice. It was really cool. And actually at that panel, Garrett Oliver surprised me there. So I got to meet him in person. So that was super cool too.
Nice. Yeah, I can imagine if you were just wanting to be a brewer, but because of who you are, it becomes with a whole other layer of things that you didn't necessarily wanted to have responsibility before, but it just comes with the territory of being
a woman,
a first,
and then like you said, you just it seems like it was started all on a lark. Like your friend was like, we need more black female brewers. And then 7 years later, you're like, yeah, me.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah, now I'm here
doing
now.
this.
So
Yeah. What were you
person.
doing before your beer journey?
I was just bartender, and I was like a restaurant manager. I just like, you're just typical workaholic kind of person. So I worked a ton. I worked at a couple of different restaurants before I moved to Colorado. But yeah, I have a psychology degree that I never used. I think a lot of people can relate.
For sure.
Yeah, I make more money in the restaurant, so that's cool. That's why I never use it. That's why
you don't have to use it.
Right. Now, do you still talk to that person the person you had that was at the brewery that said they need more people in a cup? You still talk to him?
I talk to him all the time. He's so happy for me, and it's like crazy that he's so stoked.
A manifestation,
right?
He put in the atmosphere.
Yeah,
I'll
be like, wait, but you kind of rushed me off when I said it.
now you are full brew. I told you to be, and you said nah.
I sure did. I was like, that's cool. I'm not gonna do that, but okay.
I really do. I be popping up at every panel she had. She didn't want to be on there. Right on.
She didn't want to be here. I had to ask her to do it.
That's funny.
No, but he's actually not in brewing anymore. He's about to open his own restaurant, but like he like low key like creeps on my Instagram and stuff, and he like sees all the things that I'm doing, and he works with one of my best friends. So through him, I always hear like he always tells me he's so proud of you, dude. Like he like loves the journey that you're on, and he knows he's why. So he got me here.
That's dope.
For sure,
I guess another question I ask sometimes is there a style of beer that you haven't brewed that you really want to brew?
Good question, Rob.
Ooh, no, I don't think so.
Brew a tart cherry.
You don't want to brew this tequila barrel watermelon goosey. You don't want to do a goosey.
That sounds good. I think that fortunately, we have a pilot system here, so I've brewed a lot of different styles. Okay. But I think maybe there's not a style that I haven't brewed, but there's like tons of stuff that I've never put in barrels, and I think that's where I really want to like go. And I hope that at some point Five Wits, gets a little barrel program, and I would love to do that. Different barrels. I love beers aged on wood in any way. So
what kind of barrels do you like, and what would you like them to bring to your brewery?
I really like wine barrels, and also just neutral oak. And so our foeder was just a neutral oak foeder, and I like all the flavors that it brings to our beer. We have a Flanders Red in it right now, and our first one was a golden sour. It's also really tart and acidic. But yeah, no, I just love those flavors. So I think just probably oak, just neutral oak, or like wine barrels. Also, I really want to get into spirit barrels, like tequila would be awesome. We had one, but it was dry when we got it, and we couldn't use it. It leaked everywhere. So, wow. But I think like a gin barrel, something in a gin barrel will be good.
What is the process of getting your hands on any of these particular barrels?
I think you just gotta like,
they're barrel vendors. Mm-hmm. There are people that's just like giving away the barrels, and then it's like a middleman in there.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then we also have
that's not lucrative. How much y'all be getting for barrels?
Sometimes we can get them for free. So we get them from a distiller in town, Chattanooga Whiskey Company. So we get their barrels, and they give them to us, but we're supposed to like give them back, but you don't give them back. Just keep them.
Okay, so I have another question. So it seems like you can get the barrels anytime you want. What will get you guys to start your barrel program?
We don't have any space. Like our brewery is tiny. Okay, like we have 10 barrels in there right now, and they're like 100% like in my way. of like daily process. Yeah.
100%.
Right. Not 89, not 93, a full 100.
They are in my way.
That means they would be better if they weren't there.
They got to get the out of
so
here.
we need a barrel room and we need proper storage for barrels. And I would like, I mean, personally, I want like a temperature controlled room for my barrels, and that's like a pipe dream. I know that's never gonna happen, but preferably that would be something that I would really want. And so
yeah, keep on grinding.
Right? Who said that would never happen? Stop doing that.
Yeah, you never said 7 years ago you was never gonna be a brewer. Look at that.
That's true. That's fair.
Brush that shit off.
We're gonna have these temperature aged barrels, tequilas, oak, bourbons.
I love it. Yeah, we have a ton of whiskey barrels. We actually had one that we got from, I think it's called Bliss Barrels, and I think they might be in like Vermont or something like that. But before Chat Whiskey got it, they got it from a place that had sweet potatoes and maple syrup in them, which was really cool. Damn. So we put another beer in those. Like, I don't know, whiskey barrels are, I like them, and I think they definitely have their place. But sometimes I don't think I like the overwhelmingly whiskey character that comes from bourbon barrels sometimes. So this might be my least favorite barrels, but there's definitely a time and place for whiskey barrels.
I have one more question about barrels. You said you like wine barrels the best. About the barrels. You said you like the wine barrels the best. Is it a aging process? So like does it taste better if you age it for a year versus 3 months versus 2 years? Like have you found anything in that? Your preference.
I mean, I really, for something like that, like I would keep them in there for maybe like 6 months or so. I mean, sometimes you can leave a beer in barrels for too long, in my opinion, sometimes. And then sometimes those barrels will have their own like microflora in those staves and in the wood. So potentially, sometimes those barrels can turn. So I don't leave them. I don't like to leave them in there for extended periods of time. But I mean, you have to keep tasting them and always like be on top of that. But like, far as like wine barrels, though, I mean, I would leave a beer in there for like 6 months to a year. I don't think anything would be terrible.
And it doesn't depend on the type of wine barrel you got, like a Pinot versus a Noir or whatever.
I mean, you're gonna get those flavors like picked up in that beer that's in there. So I think like a white wine, just I don't know, kind of depends on. Like, I would put like a light saison or like a grisette even in like a Pinot Grigio barrel or Chardonnay barrel or something like that.
God damn it.
Yeah.
So. Now, how long have Five Wits been open? How long has Five Wits been open?
2 years.
Oh, so you've been there from the
beginning.
Yeah.
You're OG.
Oh. Yeah. I helped open it.
Okay. Shoot. So I mean, so it's still a baby. So hey,
it's definitely still a baby. It's a toddler.
Yeah. That's a toddler too.
It's a toddler. It's terrible too.
You don't call him 20. That's not a 24-month-old. Right?
24-month-old. Yeah.
It's stopped at like 22 months, right?
Do they? I don't think they still keep going.
You ain't out there calling your baby.
Stop at there after a year.
Are you?
Yeah, 36 months old.
It's not bad at 12 months for me.
Okay.
Once you a year,
you don't have a 16-month-old. I thought you could have a 16-month-old.
Nah, man. Once you a year, next thing you know, you too.
Nah, they definitely,
I don't know. I feel like the month olds go to 22 or something.
Yeah,
maybe 19. Maybe 19. I don't think I ever heard of a 21.
Oh, he's 136 months.
Oh my god.
Currently 526 months old.
All right.
Fresher than ever.
That went left.
I don't even know how we got there. I apologize. I think that was
all actually how long it was, and I said toddler. So I guess I brought that.
Oh yeah, 2-year-old brewery is a toddler, but it's not 24 months old.
Yeah. I was just saying it's still fairly new.
It's still fresh.
Yeah. And the fact
still fresh.
Yeah, I got a lot of things to
and it's still operating after pandemic, so that's actually impressive as well.
Yeah.
Ooh,
almost through the whole pandemic for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Y'all started right at the beginning.
I know, and then we got going, and then it was like boom. It was like damn. But that's okay. We did some stuff like during pandemic, like we did a lot of everyone did to go beers and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but also like while pandemic was happening, people drink a lot. So
right.
Y'all kept the to go going.
Yep.
Yeah. Good.
Now, were you always, did you can a lot before, or was that just something that you pivoted to?
I think we pivoted to it during pandemic. We always had a canning line, but we never. We just didn't think about that, like, right away. But as soon as pandemic happened and there is a need for it, there's a call for it. We had cans, so we just did it.
Do you guys are you guys just canning and distributing through the brewery, or do you distribute throughout Tennessee?
Right now we're only in like Chattanooga, in Knoxville. We have a distributor, it's Cherokee. We're looking to push like towards like Nashville and bigger markets, but right now I don't even know, like that even scares me a little bit because we just don't have the manpower for that. So like we barely get by with the two of us. So I mean, we would love to go to bigger markets, but I don't know if we can.
Gift and a curse. It could be great, but that also means more work.
Maybe you'll find somewhere to put them barrels outside now.
True.
You ain't 100% blocked every day.
Yeah,
I know. But shout out to Elliot though, because he definitely is an ally. He definitely is always champion. That's what he's always championing you to continue pushing you further, even if you don't want to. So that's pretty cool that people always have. I mean, it's always good to have, even if it's a boss that says, "Nah, you can do this, and you definitely should go." So
he has a lot of faith in me.
Absolutely,
yeah. Did you say something to him like in the interview process or when you first got there that made him, or he just came out like, I need you to be my brewer?
We like had like an impromptu interview. It wasn't really even an interview. He just like asked me what my day-to-day was back at Wrightsville and stuff like that. The first time I met them, we had like beers on the roof, like they were still building out our brewery. So it was like it was kind of like vibes, I guess. I don't know. Right. It was very much like, I mean, she seems cool. So
I like to teach her my craft.
Yeah. Awesome. She might know what she's doing. That's, I mean, cool. Right. Okay.
What do you know about beer? I drink it. Okay.
I drink it.
Hi, come in the back with me. I got a barrel system going.
Yeah, no, it was so awesome. Like impromptu, and it was very informal, I will say, as far as interviews I've ever gone. But yeah, I don't know. It worked out.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it worked out. He saw something in you that he believed in, so that's dope.
And the fact that you making good beer, and like when I asked you what you did before, I thought it was a science background because you knew so much about the Bactomyces and the like you sound like a scientist. Like
I don't know. Like I mean, brewing is like science, though.
It definitely is.
So
but the way you talk about it is like, wow, I'm a scientist by nature, but not as I don't know no Bactomyces and stuff like that.
I appreciate it.
He knows how to make aluminum foil.
Come on, man.
You know what I said, bro?
Yeah, that ain't even the half of it, man. I make much more than aluminum foils. So my titaniums and my aluminums and my platinums don't. Come on, man. It's classified. It's classified information. I sign NDAs almost every week.
And that threw off my question. Now I forgot it now.
Sorry.
My bad.
Oh, no, I remember now. So besides Five Wits beer, like if you had to have a beer, what would you reach for, or what would you run to the store and get?
I was absolutely gonna run and grab a 6-pack of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. That is my I call it my fridge beer. That's just what I always have around.
Gotcha.
I don't know. That beer's just good. That's just I would almost call that maybe like my desert island beer, you know?
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Wait, how many breweries did you say was in your area?
We have 10 here.
10. Do you visit those other breweries?
Do what?
Oh man, this must be last night residuals.
Sorry. I'm getting my charger. I'm sorry, I don't have my charger.
Last night residuals. Wow.
It was. I don't have my car, so yeah, can't find my charger.
Do you visit those other breweries?
Oh yeah, I go to our breweries a lot around. I just I appreciate a sense of community, I think, in the brewing industry. And so I don't know. I just like for all of us to get together and hang out. And so we do that quite a bit. Like I was hanging out with a couple of the brewers last night.
Now do y'all just exactly that it's water morning because of that last night.
Well, since you brought it up,
do y'all always go to hold on. Do y'all always go to different that's actually is a segue into that. Do y'all always when y'all hang out, do y'all go to different breweries in the area, or y'all just home hanging out, tasting home brews? What's a hangout?
No, so we do have one of our friends that is a really serious home brewer. So we go hang out at his house when he has something new on tap. But I think we all have our like favorite breweries that we like to go to. And as far as like when I go to, I don't know, I feel like a lot of brewers like to come and hang out at our place because we do have a lot of lagers, and brewers like lagers. So we hang out there. But normally when we get together, if it goes past the point where we're not drinking beer, which it did last night, so it just we kind of shift to our favorite bars. Bitter Alibi. There's a place called Hair of the Dog that we like to go to. Yeah. So then, and after craft beer, it goes to like PBR, like Narragansett, and like whiskey. So
that's only right. That's only right in Tennessee, right? I mean,
yeah, I think so.
Right, especially whiskey.
Right.
That's what you were.
Is Jack Daniels the whiskey of choice down there?
Yeah, a lot of people like Jack Daniels here.
It is. Okay.
Jack Daniels and George Dickel.
They don't like Uncle Nearest.
No one knows about Uncle Nearest. I gotta put people on, I guess. No one knows it.
For sure.
Dang. So is that what y'all was drinking last night? Was whiskey?
No, last night was slushy drinks. So we have a slushy bar here.
That's right up your alley, Yoda. That's right up your alley, Yoda.
Yeah.
I fuck with a slushy boy.
They thought it's like New Orleans, huh?
Yoda about to make a flight. Yeah. Yoda about to point a flight.
I can get down with a slushy boy.
No, they're dangerous. A lot of them have pure grain alcohol in them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
that ain't like Fat Tuesday on South Street at all.
Well, we found your car. It's there.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, it's across the street at a beer bar that we were at before. We got it. We found it.
So you've been said the hell with the car before you even went into this.
Right.
Yeah,
well, the car was going. She was like, make it a great night. Let's go to the slushy bar.
Right,
and it's like not too far from my house either. So I was like, I'll just leave it and I'll Uber. So.
There you go.
Okay.
So you actually know where your car is.
I'm thinking about it now. Yes, yeah, I know where it is.
Look at that.
She's thinking about it.
See what that water does. See what that water does. Hydrate.
Clears up my mind.
How about if you get there and it's not there? Where do
oh my God!
What? No, don't say
that. They put the boot on that.
It's Sunday. It's Sunday. She should be all right on Sunday.
It is Sunday.
They tow 24/7, bro.
Well, if it's not illegally placed,
right? She's parked legally.
I'm parked legally. I'm in a parking lot.
Yeah, and
they don't be cleaning the streets on Sundays.
Right,
no.
And they know. They're like, oh, that's LT's car. We know she'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She's gonna Uber back.
She did the same thing last week.
No, it's so funny. I think people think brewers just drink all. I mean, we do drink a lot. I mean,
the story you're telling. The story you're telling.
I know, but I don't. This is not like a normal thing. Like I don't know. I like live for my weekends, and I hate being hungover on Sunday, especially. Like that's my day.
It does.
Yeah.
I just don't drink that much.
LT is a brewer schedule like a normal 40-hour 9 to 5 week, or is it? It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I usually do like a 6 to 2 or like 8 to 4 or 5. Like I don't know. I usually work like 45 hours a week in general.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question that my man Raj has asked. I'll post it right here. It says, is there a brewery or brewer in the industry that inspires, motivates you on a daily basis?
I can say, and I've mentioned him before, but way back when I found out who Garrett Oliver was, him being a Black man running this brewery in New York, like for me, that inspired me, and it made me feel okay to be in these spaces, as a Black woman. I know, we differ on that front, but being a Black person in these spaces, and he's comfortable, he's like in it, like, I mean, he's like unbothered by, being a Black person in these spaces. And I think that's awesome. So that he truly has inspired me in that way. Outside of that, I mean, I have a whole bunch of like brewers that like I definitely like, fangirl over because they make really awesome beer. But I don't know. It's a lot. I'm constantly inspired by a lot of people. Like I follow great people on Instagram, and I don't know. The one that comes to mind, I think, immediately was Garrett Oliver, but I follow a lot of brewers. And
All right. Now, have you ever brewed an ESB?
No, I'm brewing this week though.
Okay, I'm there. I gotta hop on a train.
Yeah,
when
it is on the docket. I've been wanting to brew one. I love ESBs. They're definitely like a slept-on style.
Facts.
That's what everybody that likes them says.
Robert,
Everybody likes them says the same thing.
Give me a ticket to Chattown.
Chattown.
Well, I don't think we have a train.
Chattanooga, and they're not going to know where to take them.
They don't have a train.
No.
It ain't no train to Chattanooga?
I don't think so.
See, you said it worse than I did.
I said it because of you, bro. I know how to say Chattanooga. Chattanooga.
I didn't say Chad. I didn't have
you said Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
Whatever you said.
I said
you gonna go to the train station. You're going to go to the train station and ask for a ticket, and they're not going to be able to send you. Not only because it's not a train station there.
It would sound like you would have a train station in Chattanooga. It sounds like
it sounds like the third biggest city in Tennessee.
Yeah, there is like a big railway system. I just don't think we have like, those kind of trains that would take you places.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. I mean, because we have this big old train station downtown.
It's one of station.
We got a train station downtown. Then
it used to be a long time ago. Now it's a hotel.
From Chattanooga to
Atlanta. He had to drive, bro. He took a Greyhound.
Or a Greyhound, yeah. I don't even know if you can get that here somewhere. I've never taken one from Chattanooga.
Wasn't no Chugga.
Yeah, we drive over here.
Rob, that means you go out the train hop like in the olden days. You go out
You're gonna be a hobo. Rob gotta be a hobo to get the Chattanooga.
Oh my god!
And I thought for sure it was a decent sized city.
I thought so
no,
too.
It's like a big small town. I feel like.
So it's like Nashville, Knoxville, Memphis, and then Chattanooga.
You keep saying it like that.
I'm gonna go back and listen.
I think
like that. I'm gonna play it over and over and over.
That's fine. That's how
I'm gonna start saying it like that now. But I think Chattanooga is like the third biggest, then Knoxville.
Gotcha.
That's pretty big, then.
Right.
I mean, it's big like on paper. You know what I mean? Like it's spread out, but it's not. We don't have like skyscrapers or anything like that.
They probably got a higher population in that one area than the entire Delaware.
What time does the city close?
9:00.
Oh shit. We close later than that.
Most places like close down like 9 or 10, and it's like it used to be like a little more vibrant than that before pandemic, but there's still like I said, like Hair of the Dog. Like we have a place called Pickle Barrel. There's a couple places that stay up until 2, but not very many. There might be 2 or 3 places that stay up until 2. Other than that, everything closes pretty much at like 10.
Yeah, there might be a connecting train. Like I might have to go to somewhere else, and then it gets me, or take a bus, and then I have to get there.
Do you not drive?
Think about this train.
I can drive.
It's like you just don't want to drive.
I can drive, but if you said it was like 3 hours from,
he gotta take a train from Wilmington to DC, from DC to Knoxville. And then Uber from Knoxville over to Chattanooga.
That's a real expensive Uber.
Right?
They got Uber, or maybe take a bus and then you go Uber from the bus station to the
worst case you fly to Atlanta and you
Just send us some.
get
Just
a
send
car.
us some ESB candles. Just send us some.
Just some
ESB
candles?
please.
Okay. I can probably send some candles for you.
I think that'll help your train route.
Yeah, because you're not going to get here on a train. I'm so sorry.
It's fascinating. I thought you could get anywhere on the train.
Wow.
I feel like
Dude, y'all know what's funny? Like when I was in New York, I took the trains or the metro subway.
Yeah, the subway, yeah.
That was the first time I've ever taken that, and I rode it backwards twice. I didn't realize they went in two different directions.
Ah.
I don't know. I don't like those. Is that what you're talking about? That kind of train?
No, we talking about Amtrak, girl.
Yeah, I was talking about Amtrak.
Oh no, yeah, we definitely don't have that. Like 100% don't have that.
We don't have subways or the Amtrak.
How y'all get it around? Like we just locked here.
Trains are not the only mode of transportation. Right? People do have buses and cars.
Like that? Oh, we definitely don't have.
The Amtrak, man. No, listen.
No, I always wanted to ride that though, because living up in the mountains, like if you take the train like through Colorado, you get like a whole different like scenic view of Colorado that you would never see like by a car.
Exactly.
So I always wanted to do that.
Oh, I'm gonna try
That's why I could have swore that there was a train.
Huh. No, not over here.
Colorado has great scenic views.
Well, even
no, I love it there.
It's beautiful.
But even before before cars, there were trains. That's what I was saying. That's how most places.
I was saying there was a train system here. Like we're big. We had like a railway, like a museum. Like a railways used to be like a really big thing here. There's not anymore.
Ain't there a Tennessee Railroad on the Monopoly game?
Maybe.
Yeah. Huh.
I haven't played that game in forever, but no. We actually have. They just picked up one of the railroads. Like Ohio owned it. The state of Ohio owned this railway that was going straight through, kind of like the south side or whatever. So they picked it up and they took it back. So I don't know.
They picked it up.
They came and like picked it up.
It's like y'all ain't having no train stations. Like no.
I mean, kind of. They're like, y'all not using this, so
yeah, it's funny.
All right.
Picked it up.
Oh, I didn't know you could do. I knew you could do that. I'd definitely pick up something, but all right. A little history for Chat.
Yeah.
No train stations in Chattown.
For Chattown.
For Chattown. Huh? All right. I think I asked my question.
Wait, where are you guys at? That I don't know.
Delaware.
Delaware. You are in Delaware. Okay.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
Delaware? Huh? Okay.
Why Delaware?
I mean, that's not even like an option for you. I mean, I don't even know why I asked that. I've never been to Delaware. I don't know.
Huh. But we got a train station.
Right.
That's train station.
Wilmington, Delaware has a train station, but Chattanooga, Delaware.
Wilmington, Delaware. Oh, okay.
That's right.
There's two Wilmingtons. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wilmington, North Carolina, where Dawson Creek was shot at.
And Michael
I remember that.
Michael Jordan's from
And
there.
then Wilmington, Delaware, where niggas get shot at.
Yes.
Oh,
seriously.
Very good.
But it's also
like?
You meshed that.
But it's also the
well.
train station of
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Yes, that is true.
Interesting.
It is actually called
It's your president's
Joe
train
Biden
station.
station.
Yeah, it's your president's train station.
Okay.
She like my president. He from Delaware.
When did that happen?
That's wild.
I thought he was Scranton.
Is it a big city?
It's the biggest city in Delaware.
Right.
Delaware is small, right?
It has more people in Wilmington than the whole state, right?
Seriously?
Yeah, probably.
Works?
Yeah, probably.
The city of Wilmington.
I don't know, but that's what I was saying. Chattown probably got as many people that's in our whole state.
It seems like it when they don't have no train station or no bus route.
But we also are dead smack on the East Coast, so we actually have to connect. So they have to connect between New York and Philadelphia,
Jersey,
and DC, all that stuff.
We like less than 3 hours from everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Like
so you probably how'd you get to New York?
I flew.
I was gonna say if you took the train. Oh, you couldn't have took the train. Never mind.
No.
What you gonna get on the train?
No, I flew and then immediately got off the airport and realized that I had to take the subway, and I've never taken it, and I didn't know how to take it, so I winged it. Like I didn't want to look like a tourist, you know what I mean? So.
Right. And you're here now, so you survived. You're fine.
Right. So you got there eventually.
Yeah.
You made it.
It is.
At least you
Ubers
could
are
buy
very
the
expensive
Metro
there.
Day Pass. You could ride all day.
See, no one told me about that, so I had to pay like every single time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, but
That's okay.
the subway is not too bad. So it's not like
No,
it's not like Amtrak. So it's a little.
No,
yeah. If you go the wrong
way
way
cheaper that way too.
You go the wrong way on Amtrak, bro.
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't get too far away from where I was going before I realized I was riding backwards. But
yeah, because you could end up in Staten Island or something like that. But no, you would have known. You would have known.
That might have been fun though.
Yeah, but you would have known because I think I don't know if you can directly go to Staten Island from.
I think you probably have to get off. I had to get off a couple times because it was like the end of the thing, end of the
stop.
Yeah.
Route.
Yeah. That was interesting too. I was like, what am I supposed to do here? Just get off the train.
Go the other way.
You have no choice.
Yeah, so I got off and I was like,
okay. She was riding the subway for fun.
Just learning it.
Her and that guy sitting in the corner talking to himself.
and looking at her.
Oh man.
Right.
Interesting characters down there on the platform.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Yes, if you down there all day like you was, it's definitely gonna be a lot of people down there.
Yeah.
You actually became one of those interesting people.
I was. The one walking up and down the steps and back and forth reading the signs because I didn't know where I was.
I'm trying not to be a tourist.
I don't want to be a tourist.
And I would have been a tourist at that point. I was like,
how do I get now? Can you help me, please?
It was wild because I found a girl that I met like on Instagram, but she was coming to meet me, but she found me before I got on the wrong train.
Oh, nice.
She was like, she texted me, but I didn't see the text. Like, yeah. She was like, no, this is the wrong one. I was like, well, it says like it's going there. And basically, like, that's the L. You need the G. And I was like, okay. Yeah,
that's confusing to me too.
Oh yeah, definitely. New York's train system is an experience for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always go with people who are from New York,
who already know. Like, do you know how to do this? Like, we're gonna get off this train, take this train, and we 3 trains and we there. 45 minutes. Like,
I hate that.
Can we just drive?
Mm-hmm.
What's up with cars?
I was like, let me just drive there, and they're like, no one has cars in New York, and I was like, well.
It seems like a lot of cars.
They say that, but instead,
that's a lot of cars outside. When
They're not from New York.
You come up the steps from the subway, you look out, and there's cars.
There's a million cars. There's a million cars. I'm like, you can drive. It's fine.
They're probably not originally from New York because most New Yorkers don't even have a driver's license until they get older.
Until they get
I met somebody who didn't know how to drive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So most of the time they're imports that have cars.
Okay. Well, it's a lot of imports to the city.
Oh, it's New York. There's definitely a lot of imports.
Yeah, because goddamn, it's cars out there.
There's tons of cars. Yeah, and taxi drivers that don't care. And now.
That sounds like that hurt.
Robert almost been hit a few times.
He been honked at a few times when that light been red. You been honked at a few times, Rob.
That or you almost got hit by one because they were like just not paying attention.
Hit by a taxi cab driver.
Probably all that. Hit by one, almost passed by one, even if it was a pouring rain. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Tall man in the city, you ain't getting no cab in the rain, bro.
That's why Uber and Lyft is here now, son.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't even know if they can do that. I mean, I think they can now. I know it was a big conflict at one point. All right. Is there any more questions for LaTroya before we don't want to take up all our time for the day. We want her to make sure she can find her car.
And she does need to
I
hydrate.
gotta go.
Keep hydrating.
Gotta go for a walk to go get it. So
LT, do you have any questions for us?
I don't think so. I'm gonna start listening to you guys' podcast. I haven't listened to it before.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So this is like very new.
We'll always,
First time I met you
accept new
guys.
followers. Yeah. Just subscribe.
Yeah.
Just subscribe and download every week.
Is it on Spotify?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Okay.
Wherever you get your podcast, that's where we are.
You can even look behind you. It's right there on that plane.
Yep. Look. Yep, there it is.
Technically, it is because it is now on the podcast. So it is.
Yeah.
Technically, that.
Everywhere on the podcast. Yep. Your plant is famous now.
You made it.
The plant made it.
I do have a lot of plants.
It looks nice over there. Yeah, it looks real
Thank
peaceful.
you.
All right.
It's
So we
real
want to thank LaTroya for coming on.
Real succulent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
What
it.
the
I was
fuck
saying that
is happening?
the back is ficacy and succulent. They're names of plants. They're
Oh.
types of
Yeah.
You gotta. These
Sound
are
like a word.
monsteras.
What was the first word you said?
ficus.
Second.
Icacy and
Succulent.
Succulent.
Succulents.
Okay.
Have some of
They're
those.
they're
Yes.
types of plants, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I see
okay.
that. It's like an aloe plant or something, right? Is that an aloe plant?
I think that's technically a succulent.
That's a snake plant.
This is a snake plant.
Oh, okay. You know you're green.
Yeah,
are
boy, I be in
monsteras.
there, boy. Black men plant. That's me, baby.
I ain't never seen you playing shit, nigga.
Man, my life has changed since the last time you seen me. The last time you seen me was in a pandemic. We in a pandemic. I plant shit, nigga.
He plant
shit. Don't be hating on my plants still. Didn't I name the plant? Didn't I name the plant in the background? Did I pull a Devin and name the fucking plant.
That's because your mama got planes.
No,
That's
man. I know about the snake plant.
All right. It kind of still looks like an aloe plant to me, but I give it to you, snake plant.
It's a snake plant.
She
That's
confirmed.
what's up. Oh, they both all succulents? They both in the succulent family?
No,
these aren't.
Okay.
I was saying aloe. You mentioned aloe. I don't know. I think aloe is a succulent. Okay.
Yeah.
But-
All right.
The healing properties of the aloe plant.
All right. Before we wrap up, we all like to know how people can find you and what you're doing and where you're working at. Like, how can they find LaTroya if they want to come through the chat town and have a brew?
I guess they're gonna have to slide into my DMs on Instagram.
Bop, bing, bop.
I'm at ASAP Troya on Instagram.
ASAP Troya.
My brewery is Five Wits Brewing Company, and I'm pretty much always there. And we have these really large, obnoxious windows, so you can just look in and wave at me.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I hate the windows.
Really?
They're awful.
This is a sidebar. Y'all remember Pappy's Pizza?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how you can look in the window.
They hated that too, yo.
No, I feel like I'm literally constantly on display. I think one time
how people know that
I hate
you're a
it.
black brewer? If they looking at you brew these beers?
That's fair. That's fair.
They definitely know who she is.
Right.
She just don't want to admit it. They be like, what LT, baby?
I always get that though.
Right. I see
They
you
literally do. They'll stand there and look until I look at them, and then I notice they're looking, and it's just like
Somebody behind you look at the window.
It's like every day.
I'm like,
every day.
Go away.
What time does the brewery? You said you get there between 6 and 8. What time does the
go.
brewery actually open?
See, Kim said chat time knows who she is.
That's it. That's right.
Okay,
That's
Kim.
right, Kim.
Thank you.
Hey, Kim.
Kim knows about our podcast for a while now. She's been hanging with us for a
Kim
minute.
she always around.
I asked her the other day if she listened to you guys, and she said she did. So I was like, cool. And I was like, I didn't tell her I was going to be on here with you guys, but I was like, okay, I'll listen to it. But I never listened, so I was just going to go in hot and wing it because I've never met you guys.
Listen. Can you just download? You don't have to listen. Just download.
No, I'm gonna listen.
No, I'm going to listen.
I would like
I get through my day at work. I listen to podcasts all the time.
Yeah, so here you go. This is the best one you gonna find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is definitely the funnest one that I've ever been on. I can honestly say that.
Well, that's what we aim to do. Be the funnest podcast.
Meanwhile, Robert had a hook. Yes. Thank you, Kim.
All right, Kim.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate
putting it down.
That's right.
All right. Yo, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at IM302 Yoda. I ain't gonna spell the whole thing out. I don't feel like it.
Okay. Lou?
I'm on them Instagrams. My name is Lou Belgium.
Yo, is that light about to go out or is it flashing?
Man, listen, man. We almost done. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
That shit good. I'm gonna have a seizure looking at that movie.
Please be safe. Be safe. Don't die on the podcast, please. Leave me alone. I made it. I had no technical difficulties.
Yeah, that is true. You did make it, man.
Shout out to Dev. I think that at Dev Drinks Craft Brew. Is it craft beer? It's craft brew, right?
Yeah,
craft brew.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have to follow you guys. I think I follow Lou Belgium.
There you go.
I think I follow you. I need to follow you guys too. I follow Rob too. I think maybe.
How about that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
probably.
I'm gonna do it when I get off of here.
You don't gotta follow me if you don't want to. I'll be on some bullshit.
I know. I be talking crazy as well. So.
Birds of a feather over there.
Yes.
Hey, you can find Brews and Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brews and Banter Podcast or Brews and P on Twitter. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and you will listen to the podcast. You can even go to www.brewsingbanter.com and check out the podcast, all the platforms they're on. And you can also buy merch. We got t-shirts and hoodies. Like that one right there. And that shirt right there. If you want to follow me, Rob G, there it is, Rob Stay Bruising. Bang, 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 bang. I just got your name now. I can't.
Bing bong.
Bang, bang, bang. I've done it once and I can't stop doing it now. I have to do it all the time.
You nailing it most of the time, so keep on doing it.
Yeah, because I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Yeah. Shit, wrong hand.
No.
Look, it's the pass them up. What the fuck? Bing, bing, bing,
Bing bong, bing bong, bing
It's
bong.
here. I gotta put my whole hand over the motherfucker. Right?
Yeah.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Shit, I forgot what
Where can you? Did you say where you can see us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Spotify's and the
check us out.
podcast.
You can watch us on. You can also watch us on YouTube and also on Facebook Live. You can also smash that like button, get a notification, all that good stuff.
All that.
Once again, I want to thank LaTroya Butts for coming through.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
No, I had fun. Thanks for having me here. This was awesome.
Yeah,
This
thanks
has
for
been
coming
episode
on.
143 of Brews and Banter Podcast. Until next time.
Have a good week, everyone.
Yes. Oh.
Uh-oh.
That sounds real. What's that lady that passed away? Amy Winehouse.
Okay. Am I good to leave?